This week on HMP, we're headed back to space, but will we return safely? Welcome to Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Welcome back, you dirty babies. It's time for another Half-Ass Movie Podcast, a show where we put together a half-ass theme as an excuse to watch movies. My name is Adam Porters, and joining me today, Sean. It's Sean Loves Spaceships Month. Here's Shawnee, who has normal-sized hands, whatever that means. Sweet Sean's a Kovacs from the internet.
Well, we'll get into that later, boys. Don't you worry none about that. My favorite quote on this.
Hold on, and he's so hungry that he could eat the ass out of a rhinoceros. Bruce Leslie.
Can confirm. Been to Africa. Been there, done that.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Sean. Sorry, I wanted to get through that.
Sorry, I had to go with what you gave me. Everybody knows that Houston, we have a problem with good reason. It's a great line. But my favorite line in this movie is, "We just put Sir Isaac Newton in the driver's seat." That line is awesome.
There's a lot of those really great lines in here that were just like that. Like, well, this movie is built for fathers, I believe. This is another Father's Day film.
This is the dad movie, man.
Yeah,
this is the dad movie.
Is there a man who has a child somewhere? I promise you, he likes this film. So we're back, everybody. Again, like I said, it's Sean Loves Spaceships Month, and we sail on. We're checking out a movie that the internet would actually have me believe was back in IMAX for theaters for this 30th anniversary week, despite me not being able to find it anywhere.
Oh, no.
No, it was like ridiculous.
Here.
Every IMAX screen that I looked at, none of them there. But you know what? Do not worry, because I had it on 4K, and I can promise you this, pound for pound, my sound system beats the crap out of an IMAX thing. So I'll tell you that much right away, everybody. So I was excited to get in on this one.
Where'd that backdoor compliment come from?
It's called money. It's called, you have to show it off.
I went back to 1995 and got a CRT TV from Goodwill and a VHS tape. And I went to town.
Hey. But yeah, so we'll talk about all the way back 30 years ago. It's
whoa, man!
It is odd when you get to that point too, where I'm like,
cow.
Wait a minute,
we weren't born yet.
And but there's a lot of these things that are coming up right now where you're just like, oh, this is like 30 years old, and you're like, no, that's not right. I was in double digits at this point. What's going on? How was that even a thing?
That can't be right, because I'm not old. But that movie's 30 years old, and I saw it as an adult. That can't be right.
No.
I realized how old I was when I watched this movie, and it kind of looked like Kevin Bacon doesn't need to shave yet. Like, man, I am old. Because I was an adult, and he looks younger than I did in 95 all of a sudden.
It's funny. While watching this, though, I did think, like, if you took a couple years previous to this and everything, Kevin Bacon would not have been a terrible Johnny Storm option.
Oh, that's good, bud.
He would be
really good.
Because he's got that kind of attitude here. You take about 5-6 years off of him in this role and everything, I think he'd do a damn good job.
That's good.
But we'll get into all of that in just a moment. But let me tell you guys, we're streaming this show over on YouTube. So if you're not listening on YouTube, man, you're doing yourself a big giant disservice, because we got all the babies over in the chat here and everything. Plus, there is a brand new thing. I don't know if you boys have heard this or not. This is a lot of people don't even know that this is a thing, but there is now not only a regular like button, as we always know and everything. There's a brand new feature called the hype button. Have you heard of this?
No.
There is a brand new version called the hype button. You can do that, and it's only for small creators. I forget what the actual limit is, but for people that are certainly $1 million over, they don't have this thing. So punch in, I think it's only on mobile, but look on your mobile thing and, give the regular thumbs up that you normally do. And there'll be a little thing where it says like the AI and whatnot. You just kind of click over and it's tough to explain, but just kind of mess with it. You'll see the little hype button. Press that. It doesn't cost you anything, but essentially this is kind of like a super thumbs up, if you will, to help get this out to more people. It's telling YouTube, hey, this small creator is putting out something that's interesting. I would like to shove that out to everybody else. So
I like that it looks like the More You Know star.
It does. It's like
us to the top, dirty babies. You do it. It's in your hands. Hype us to the top. Make us too big to hype. Hype us to.
That's what I want. That's ultimately the goal that I would like to get to, is to the point that we get big enough to where we don't have to worry about the hype button anymore. That's just make my day, please. Please, please. That would put us up in a good category.
I was cantankerous when we were poor. My word.
Yeah.
Wait till I start getting that PewDiePie money.
Yeah. We're gonna see. Yeah, he can't qualify. Too big of a creator. But me, all good old HMP. We can still benefit from this. We benefit from you guys sharing this out and everything as well, and checking out all the other stuff we have there on the website as well. I'm going to. The output has been a little bit sparse as of late. I did get the big giant SVS review out. I'm still doing TikTok Trash Tuesdays as per usual. But outside
are?
I've done, this week will be 14 TikTok Trash Tuesdays in a row, where I take all the movie TikToks and react to them and kind of make fun and have a good time usually. And then I cut that stuff up for social media, and the cycle repeats again. And hopefully people will, watch and flock. At least that's hopefully the idea. So check out all that kind of good stuff out.
What day do you do the TikTok Trash Tuesdays?
It's Tuesday, oddly enough, at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on the YouTubes there. So come and hang out. We talk. I watch like a couple of seconds of the TikToks up top to just kind of make sure it's obviously a movie TikTok or whatever, and then I just save it to the phone. And then the day before and everything, I just feed all those back out to the computer, splice them all up together. Boom, there you go. And then we just kind of have a little live react on the show. Kind of keeps me on my toes too. That's what I also kind of like about it. It's like it's almost like a Mystery Science improv kind of thing. It's not always as good as that, mind you, but we do that and it's fun. So check out that TikTok Trash Tuesday, everybody. We really appreciate it. And again, more and more things to come as well. And it is subscriber September here and everything, and we are up almost 500 subscribers in the month of September alone.
Bro, thank you, everybody. That's awesome.
So doing things like with that hype button, everything, getting this bad boy out there and pumping it out to more people, that is the stuff that's going to really do it. And leave a comment and all those things. And watch all of the videos. I know it's bizarre to just be like, hey, sit and watch the whole thing. But boy, oh boy, does that make a difference to the folks over at YouTube and say, hey, this is worth watching right here.
Promoting.
And get it out to other folks as well. And honestly, I think we put out a damn fine product here. We just want to get it out to as many people as possible. We want to thank you, awesome folks, for help making that possible. And if you want to make it even more possible, if just putting a hype button wasn't enough for you, if you want to give just a little bit more, head on over to patreon.com/HMP. Those awesome people get pre-show, post-show, and Dinger Zone. Dinger Zone this week, we unfortunately had the passing of Robert Redford, and we are going to celebrate the man's life and career in the Dinger Zone, where we're talking our top 5 Robert Redford films. Should be a good one, man. What a legend this guy was, right?
Yeah.
You know what I learned in my time as a YouTube guy is, if you want to keep them watching to the end, Adam, you know what you got to do?
What's that?
Nip slip every now and then.
Oh,
keep watching for that nip slip. Yeah.
They want it. They'll get it.
Blouse and you lean down or something like that.
Just
look. There was a time where if you were to tell me that there's going to be 500 people who listen to our dumbasses, I would have been like, yeah, okay, whatever. And the fact that we have 500 new subscribers where they have to look at us, get out of here.
Crazy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody.
But yes, thank you guys all so much for that. And if you're in the chat there and everything, why don't you drop on down? Give us some of those the Portress bucks out here. Where is that at?
Oh, no.
There it is.
Okay, good. Yes.
Portress bucks.
There I had to pipe it in there.
There it is.
But you don't want the other one. You don't want the. I'm
gonna.
Don't do it.
I'm
gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it for you.
That's the one you have to use all through October, though, because it's spooky.
You're right. We'll actually add a little theremin in there somehow.
I hate that thing so much. When I wasn't on the show, and you were like, Sean secretly likes it. He really don't.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen.
Portress bucks.
We got Vandiver comes in and says someday these TikTok people will put a hit out on Adam, but for now he's okay.
That's Adam's dream, I think.
You never know.
Just to know that he like moved somebody to the point of anger that they took him out. He'd be like, yes.
I'm not quite that. I still want to be here. I want people to get, to just kick a chair or something like that when they're really mad about me. That would make me happy.
Just know that I I exist.
I hope that like while he's up there receiving all of his Emmys, that Seth Rogen just goes like, it's unfortunate that Adam's not going to be watching this, and it's like, yeah, you're right because you know why.
Yeah.
He knows.
He said mean things about us, Adam.
Yeah, he can pound sand.
Yep.
My kids get so much joy out of telling their friends at school that I have beef with Seth Rogen. It's like the first thing how they introduce me to people.
Yeah, that should be what I do. That should be the way that I go because all the kids that I substitute for and everything, they all call me the popcorn guy, of course. As you might imagine, it's just go, are you going to make me a popcorn? Make us popcorn. Yeah, that's true. Check all that out. That's in the YouTube. That's in all the show notes there and everything. We'll cover all the things at the end of the show. You know how all these things work. Patreon.com/HMP. We love you, everybody. Like I said, this is the 30th anniversary of Apollo 13. My word in heaven. Let's get into it. Here is the IMDb plot line for Apollo 13. As we know, if I could hit the right things, hold on. Everything just wants to not work today. This is why we need producers. All right, here's the IMDb plotline. As we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. NASA must devise a strategy to return Apollo 13 to Earth safely after the spacecraft undergoes massive internal damage, putting the lives of the 3 astronauts on board in jeopardy. This was written.
I've got to stop you there.
Please.
You literally can sum up the plot to this movie like this: rocket not go to moon?
Question mark?
That's it. Done.
Ooh. This was written by William Broyles Jr. He wrote a ton of China Beach episodes in the late 80s and early 90s.
That's cool.
After Apollo 13, he would follow that up with Entrapment, and then another Hanks flick in Castaway, and later in Polar Express, both with Robert Zemeckis. He wrote Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes as well. He also did that sultry Unfaithful with Diane Lane and Richard Gere. And then he went on to do Jarhead and Flags of Our Fathers. Very diverse, this fellow.
Dang.
Wow.
He's definitely in that camp then, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's all over that camp.
The other half of the screenplay credit goes to Al Reinhardt, who would go on to write 2 episodes from the Earth to the Moon for Tom Hanks there and everything. And believe it or not, he actually wrote the Final Fantasies, The Spirits Within.
Huh?
Weird. Very weird.
One of these things is not like the other.
No, this, of course, is based. The screenplay is based upon the real life events as told in his book Lost Moon by astronaut Jim Lovell and his co-writer Jeffrey Kluger. This is directed by Ron Howard. Of course, Grand Theft Auto, Night Shift, Splash, Look, Cocoon, Willow, Parenthood, Backdraft, Far and Away, Ransom, Ed TV, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And that's only his career up to the year 2000. The man, I mean, he's got another 25 years after that.
Prolific.
Unreal. Starring Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton, Kevin Bacon, Gary Sinise, Ed Harris, Kathleen Quinlan, and maybe in his best cameo ever, Clint Howard.
I don't know. He's got a lot of really great cameos in all these Howard movies.
Well, they're all very different. This one, I would say this is his most acty, if you will.
Yes, agreed.
Well, yeah, like I said, boys, 30 years ago here and everything. Was this one that we ended up seeing in the movies? Because I know I certainly did.
Yes.
I never saw it till yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, and I really want to get into that with you, Bruce. I really do. Because I like as a middle-aged man, I wonder how for the first time, and you didn't want to see it in the first place originally. So like I'm fascinated to hear what you have to say about it. Of course, I saw this in the movie theater. I'm a red-blooded American, aren't I? Every male in the world needed to see this movie at the time. Bruce, you're probably out of the country at the time, I'm going to guess.
Was it a summer release?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Madagascar.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but now it makes a lot more sense.
It's Coupon the movie, man. Like everybody has to see this movie. Every American man saw this movie when it was.
And the thing was, is like Tom Hanks was just like on an absolute killing streak at this point. Like Forrest Gump had just come out here and everything, and he was hired before Forrest Gump took off, for this flick and whatnot. So he wasn't even like Hanks wasn't even banking, or Howard wasn't even banking on Hanks, performance off of that movie. But Gary Sinise was brought on board by Hanks, who had worked with him on Forrest Gump. Was like, hey, I really like this guy. Bring this guy aboard, and there you go.
Is there a reason why Gary Sinise doesn't have every voiceover in the world? Because his voice is so incredible.
Yeah,
I just don't understand it.
I'm going to imagine that there might be a cost barrier.
That's probably it. That's got to be the only thing.
I could imagine he gets a nice little paycheck when he does it, so you might say, well, yeah, he'd be perfect for it, but for 10% of the cost, we can get a guy that sounds kind of like him.
He has a voice of like the manliest voice that's also calm I've ever heard. It's so good. And he does one of the armed services. I can't remember which one. Yeah. But he does one of the armed services. He does the voiceover for them as well. And every time it comes on, because Sean likes the football. Every time one of those comes on, I'm like, my God, man, how much money did you lose by not doing voiceover work for the last 30 years?
He's fighting it out with J.K. Simmons. Just being like, which one of us is going to get more of these? And J.K.'s been taking them. I'm sorry, but he has been.
Yeah, as he should. He's got a great voice.
He's amazing
too.
as well, yeah.
Once you get to be that yellow M&M, the sky's the limit.
That's one of those ones that came over forever. It, like it was like a decade and a half before before somebody's just like, oh yeah, by the way, the Whiplash guy's been the yellow M&M. You're like, wait a minute, the whole time? Yeah, the whole time.
If I may take us off track for a second here, the M&M, like the come to life M&M bunch. I did not realize how many people actually give a crap about all of those beings.
Oh yeah.
I did not get it. And then just go into a single a antique store in your area, you will find a million like M&M creatures everywhere. Like old people, it was like Beanie Babies is number one. Like you're going to find them everywhere. But number two is probably the M&M, like the anthropomorphized M&Ms.
Yeah,
like there is so much of that, like toys and like crap you put on your wall. Who wants that? The answer is old people. Old people love them walking, talking M&Ms.
They're trying to do for old people what the California raisins did for us as kids and stuff like that. Listen, there's no reason that we should have this, but we all want it. Like, why do you need this one that sings Motown? I don't know. It's great. This one's got a pearl.
If you were to ask me what's the best movie depicting NASA, I would say this. I think most people probably would. Maybe The Right Stuff. People would go back and forth on that one, right?
Yeah, I think Right Stuff is definitely up there. I mean, it didn't make the big splash that they were certainly hoping it would. And one of the questions at the time in '95 here and everything, when Ron Howard was on Charlie Rose, was he was asking him about The Right Stuff, and because The Right Stuff, they put so much behind it and everything, but financially was a flop. Just didn't really do anything. And so he was, asking Ron Howard, just like, because the movie had not come out at this point. He's like, any trepidation there that like maybe people don't want to see, movies about space and stuff anymore? Almost kind of like that same sort of, problem that they've always kind of had and stuff. It's like, oh, well, now this is kind of washed out here and whatnot. And it worked out at least.
Well, also, did Ron Howard laugh in his face? He's like, "Have you seen our cast? Well, we're going to be just fine."
He was magnanimous about it. Like I will say, Ron Howard's media training from a little baby here and everything, he handled Charlie Rose so amazingly well.
Oh man.
And at least, I will say this, though, listening to it, because at first I thought, I was like, man, Charlie Rose is an awful lot like Larry King. But as it goes on, you're like, no, he's 1,000 times more prepared than Larry King ever will be. So,
of course. You would have to be. You couldn't be less.
Exactly.
He does ask some weird questions, but at least when you hear him, you're like, oh, I know for sure Charlie Rose saw this movie. So that was the nice thing, is he could point out to things and reference back and whatnot. But yeah, Ron Howard kind of came into this really more from your special effects, kind of standpoint here and everything. I wanted to make a cool space movie and whatnot, following the steps of like your Kubricks and whatnot to do, try to, reach for something, of that level. Can I do something that good? And as the story went on, and he thought that, the idea of the Apollo 13 was good enough for that sort of thing, but didn't really know how he would get towards the actual emotional core of that, or even if that was something that he necessarily even wanted to get to. But as he was going on and stuff, it was like, oh, the more he learned, the more he got into it, the more he was definitely along the lines of, I know how to make this about these characters. And ultimately, that will be what, we'll get into it, but makes this film as good as it is because we care about these characters, and it's not just space movie.
Right. And I'm sorry, go ahead, Bruce.
I was just going to say that I think this movie is probably closer to your heart than any of the three of us, Sean. And
I think that's safe to say, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just going to invite you kind of to offer your overall take on this and let you kind of lead us in this one a little bit.
Thanks, man. I think that when I first saw this film, my first reaction was, wow, what a ride, I said to myself. That was a taut, action-packed thrill ride, I said to myself. No, I thought to myself, that's probably the best, closest to real life space movie we're going to get. It's so singular in that, where you were on Apollo 13 for a hell of a lot longer than I thought originally going into it. And the fact that they're actually using the vomit comet to shoot most of those scenes, the vomit comet is almost impossible to get time on. So I think that's an amazing feat in itself. But one of the things that I questioned when I first, after walking out and, you spend a couple of days thinking about something, is how close is this to what actually happened? And then they released that documentary, Failure is Not an Option. And when you watch that documentary, you learn really quick two things. One, you learn this is almost exactly what happened. The movie is that close to what actually happened in real life. And so that part I just found completely fascinating, that they didn't cheat that. There's basically only two things that they cheat throughout the movie. One is people's reactions to what's happening at the time, right? Because you have to. Because when you watch Failure's Not an Option, it is literally like the astronauts are like ordering takeout because it's so boring.
Yeah, that I found that in a lot of I haven't seen any of these, but in a lot of from space things and other military type stuff, the way that even during these crazy, stuff is going bad times and everything, they will still kind of just, you're right, just sound like they're on the telephone, just, ordering a pizza or something like that. It's like, yep, we're doing one of these things right here. And it's all very low key and, just kind of even keeled and stuff because you'd have to be. You don't want to be a chick with your head cut off in that situation.
It's why you got hired is because you behave like that under pressure.
But they did give us a great scene of the guys totally losing their marbles.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, is the box on? No. And he turns, yeah, we're getting ready to put that into the position.
Right.
So they did kind of show all that we get to hear is when they took a deep breath and decided to speak to the public.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that is also why some of those documentaries might seem oh my gosh, these guys have no feelings.
But that's not what happened. Because I learned through Lovell's oral history that the reason why, because literally Houston, we have a problem, and them going back and forth in the I can't remember what the actual terminology is, but it's like blunderbuss or something like that. Like blunderbuss 5 has gone down, something like that. And the reason why they are completely like dead toned is because they hear a bang and don't realize how serious the situation is. They literally had no idea. It wasn't until about 20 minutes later, Lovell says, that they realized oh crap, we are in a ton of trouble. But even then, they are astronauts. Their voice doesn't raise very, very much, right? They're just so used to being under that sort of pressure.
Damn it, Jim, we got another problem over here.
Right, exactly. And so, when Hanks has that really funny moment with the Vox thing, that never happened because they didn't have time. The other thing that the movie has to do in order to explain situations to the audience is that, are you telling me that they're not going to be able to get, that is what I'm telling, those moments in the movie, because they have to let us know what their goals are.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but in real life, both sides already know.
We are working with geniuses here who don't need to be told the thing that's so obvious in front of their face. It's just like, hey, the car's blue, by the way. Yeah, I'm aware of that. What?
Wait a minute. Are you telling me we're off course because of that big bang?
Huh.
That's exactly what I'm telling you, damn it.
Oh.
None of that's real.
But it lays the pipe for the audience so well that you feel you don't feel stupid, number one. They don't make you feel like you're dumb. You feel like you're in that room getting the information that you feel like they would be talking about, even though that might not necessarily be. It's what you would want to know as the person who's kind of sneaking your head over somebody's shoulder going, what's going on over here?
They don't over-explain it,
Yeah.
which I think is the right move.
In any of the historical stuff that you saw, Sean, do they make it clear exactly what the malfunction was? Like with the Challenger, it all came down to the O-ring, and like we know what happened. I don't have any idea exactly what happened. I mean, I know that there was a bang, and I know that they were losing oxygen, and
it was in the tank. When they stirring the tank, it happened in the tank, and there was an explosion from Jack stirring the tank, and that's really and they had already had sort of an issue before they even took off. Like there was a computer malfunction, and they don't really show that in the film like that, because what happens is there's like this glitch. In real life, there's this glitch on the launch pad. NASA asks Lovell, "Are you still comfortable with the spacecraft? Are you still okay to go?" And if Lovell decides, "I'm going to stop it here," he totally would have stopped. He is that kind of captain. Like I know that he did. Like Tom Hanks is making him seem all jovial and like genial and stuff. Jim Lovell can totally be that way. But also, he's the captain of a spaceship. He will literally stop it on a dime. He doesn't care if he thinks everyone's going to in danger. He would do it in a second. And so he basically says to NASA, "No, I'm completely comfortable with this. We fixed the problem." And so before they go to launch, Lovell turns to the other two guys and he's like, "Well, that was our one problem. We got that one problem out of our way. That's our big problem. So let's go." Right.
It's like a live performance, right, Sean? There's always a problem.
Right, exactly.
Oh, my God, there's always a problem.
Exactly. And so when, seeing that part, watching Lovell talk about that and him thinking like, "Oh, wow, we really got away with one. That this was the big problem of us blasting off. That's great. Okay, let's keep going."
I would always liken that to when I would get you remember back in the late 90s, early 2000s when you would open up a soda and it would have like a free thing, the cap on the bottom would say like free 20 ounce or something like that. Whenever I would start something and I would pick that up and it would be like, "Oh, you just won a free thing." I'm like, the rest of my day's screwed. There's no way I'm going to do anything good today. I'm like, I'm out of luck. This is the best thing that's happened to me right now. That's it. After that, it was done. If I put it up and it's just like, try again, I was like, it's going to be a good day. Because I know how I work.
$1-2, got to go home, go to bed.
Over such small stakes, Porches. I feel so bad for you.
Hey, listen, sometimes you know what you know.
I was going to ask, both of you guys, what you think about the fact that it's based on Lovell's memoirs. You think, because like you said, he's a captain of a rocket ship. I bet he could tear people new buttholes. But boy, doesn't he come across like just the sweetest, niftiest guy in the world. His mama loves him. His wife loves him. His little girl loves him.
Well, he certainly has that aspect to him, Chris. Like he's not, but he's not a one-dimensional man. Of all the other Apollo captains, he's super well regarded, and he there's a reason why he had the most flight hours. It's because people liked working with him. He's one of those guys that like under pressure, you see what he's like, but he's also not a yeller. He's also not somebody that like, I can't stand having this person next to me, like that kind of thing. He's just a really good leader. But being a good leader sometimes means I'm going to rip your teeth out right now because that's what this situation requires.
Yeah.
And that's who he is. I think that of the other, the especially the Apollo astronauts, you know, they're all driving around in Corvettes and stuff because they're all the coolest men on the planet at the time. But Lovell is already married, already has kids. He's literally driving around the NASA compound with a station wagon, while all these other guys, especially including the other two in this capsule, are driving around in their gold-colored Corvettes because they all got them, but not Lovell. He's a family man first.
You remember the scene where the guy takes off next to him and then he tries to take off and his car dies?
Yeah.
He was in a Corvette, though, because that caught my attention. I was like, why? I mean, that's like a relatively new Corvette. Why is it dying like that? But I guess that was showing how he doesn't really care that much for the Corvette.
Well, no, I think
like
it's
grocery getter.
I think a lot of it comes down to, hey, look at all of these little bad things that are almost these ominous signs that were coming throughout this entire thing, because almost everything that can kind of go wrong in like one little tiny sense always kind of did. It's like, oh, here's a little thing that didn't quite go as well as planned. That one quite didn't go as well as planned. And it all kind of seems like there's a little bad luck with just about everything.
Oh, and that thing with the ring, with Jim Lovell's wife's ring falling into the shower, the wedding ring falling into the drain.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, at the time, I was like, oh, we get it. Like,
it feels like it's a little dramatic thing of like, hey, yet another little thing that we're losing away in the wedding thing, and then of course the separation, blah blah blah. It seems like it would be a little on the nose as far as a narrative standpoint would go.
Totally real,
crazy,
absolutely happened. Lovell's wife told him after that happened, "This is a bad sign. Maybe you should think about not going on this flight," which he had never done previously.
I do think that this movie does kind of introduce a little bit of the question, and this isn't, like on face value, but if you're watching it, you want to see a little bit more. But I think they introduced just a little bit of the question of the Greek concept of hubris, like his desire to walk on the moon may have clouded his judgment, because there were a lot of pre-launch options for him to nope out that maybe if it weren't going to the surface of the moon, he would have noped out.
I don't think that's the case, because they finally found out that like they tested for everything. It's one of those fluke ass things that you just could never have put together, whatnot. But the thing that struck me this watch that hadn't any other time was Lovell's jealousy of the other guys, of like Armstrong, because when he's watching the moon landing and stuff, I did not read that previously as, oh, he wishes this was him. Because he 100% does. He was the guy who, went around the moon several times. He was right there. For all rights, he's got more time up in space than anybody else. This should be the man that walks on the moon, and he's got to sit at home. Well, he was at a space station from what they say. But, in this thing, he's staying at home and watching another man stand on the moon when he feels like that should be him. Because even when he's like, Sean, got his thumb out there, he's going like, look, Neil Armstrong is up there. What the hell is that about?
We'll get into that in a minute, Portress, but go ahead, Bruce.
But I was going to ask if you would correct me if I'm wrong, because I may misunderstand or not know the history properly, but I thought maybe Lovell was the captain of Armstrong's mission, but because it was the first mission, the captain had to stay on the capsule so at least one person would come back home. So
here's the thing, is that Lovell got, he was offered Apollo 11. Which, at the time they still don't know which flight is going to be the one to go on the moon. You choose your flights, and they're not going to tell, because every damn astronaut in the world will want to be the first one on the moon, of course. And he got offered the Apollo 11 flight, and he didn't take it because he was not being offered the captain. And it's the reason why he took 8, and it's the reason why he took 13, is because he wanted to be the captain of the spaceship. And so if he would have taken a lesser role, he would have been one of the guys on the moon. They don't bring that up in the movie. I think that might be the only thing that real life Jim Lovell probably regrets, because all the other stuff, he literally has man, that dude ain't got a single regret in his life.
Just think of all the memes we would lose if it had been Lovell instead of Buzz Aldrin.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Buzz was a cantankerous old man. Something tells me Lovell would not have slapped people in
Which,
public.
by the way,
He
like
would-
when he
yes,
saw
he
this,
would not have.
when he saw this movie, Buzz Aldrin really liked it. He was very
Yeah.
very praise worthy of it and everything. And asked Ron Howard, "Hey, where did you get all this footage and stuff? Did you guys like dig up some stuff that wasn't there?" And he goes, "No,
funny.
we made all of that." And I listen, not for nothing. I'm not trying to start a conspiracy, but I'm just telling you the words that Ron Howard said in this interview. He goes, Buzz goes, "That's amazing. Can I have it?" What the fuck does that mean? Why does he want it? What is he going to do with it? What are you talking about? Like, I was just like, I'm not like, I don't want to be like, I believe we landed on the moon. Don't get me wrong. But I'm like, what do you want it for? What are you talking about?
Can I have it?
It just
Maybe
seemed
he's just
really weird to
angling
me.
for a free DVD or something.
I don't know. It was really bizarre.
It might be one of those things where, like, because Buzz Aldrin also seems like one of those guys where he's like, "How can I squeeze some more money out of this thing?"
Oh yeah.
And so, like, like he probably wanted that behind him on some screen projected as he's telling people that they too could metaphorically walk on the moon, like that kind of thing. Totally.
I
totally
picture it
feels
like
that.
the early days of YouTube when some older people would try to make produced videos, and you get like the Jesus rap and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like he's just standing
Jesus
on a
is
green
my homie.
screen there and everything, and
Yeah.
like the
He's like,
launch is going
I
behind
am
him.
in space again.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I could see him doing it though.
It's some Spirit Halloween astronaut costume on.
I love, like I said, this is kind of the ultimate man movie here and everything, and I think one of the ultimate kind of American movies as well, because this movie is just about the American spirit, the independence. They're trying to like, hey, we're thrown in the the back corner here and everything. We have nothing but our wits to get us out of this mess. How do we do it? And it's just like, and it's the smart guys coming up instead of fashioning a gun, we're taking all the bull crap that's in this, this module and, making an air filter out of it. It's crazy. It's so good.
They did it in super short time. Like everybody knew that they had an important job to do. Everybody knew who was good at what, and they didn't like argue with each other. They just, boom, they got it done. And it's kind of crazy what can be done when like humans collectively work towards a goal. It's just this movie shows sometimes it takes a total cluster of a disaster to motivate people to work together. But it's just imagine if like people could be, proactive versus reactive in some of that. Like imagine if they put that much effort into just making sure it didn't go wrong in the first place. Because that is something that will kill a certain type of guy, Sean, when you say, you can do it this way, but you're going to wish you'd listen to me later, but they don't listen to you. Then you get to say, I told you so. And you say, but I would much rather not be telling you I told you so now, because now I got to fix it.
But that's the thing about, I think that's why I love, even after all these years, why I still love all the NASA stuff, is because that was a thing that didn't exist. If best idea wins at NASA from the 60s to like, probably like just before Skylab. Like you have, if you have the best idea, that is what we are going to do. And I just find it fascinating. Like Adam, you brought up the filters, right? Mm-hmm. So round filter, square hole, or other way around. I can't remember which one it is.
Square filter, round hole.
Square filter, round hole, right? Which they then fix for the next flight, by the way. They don't bring that up. But from that point forward, lunar module and space capsule, they have the same filters after that. Because NASA's smart.
Well, yeah, and it's one of those things where you look back and you're just like, well, I don't know why we didn't do this way in the first place, but okay.
Exactly.
Sometimes you got to learn the hard way. I'm that way.
From a problem-solving perspective, that's what you call reinventing the wheel. Like you already got one filter that works. Why even bother coming up with another one?
Right. And so what that jerry-rigged process, that is not something that they came up with on the fly. That is something that they already had in their procedures in case something bad happened.
That takes all the fun out of it.
It does, but that is why I love NASA so much, man. Is that like, okay, so we got to do the filter jerry rig? Yeah, you do. Sorry. Okay, no problem. Okay, so what do we have to do? Okay, so you're going to take a piece of duct tape about this is the way Lovell describes it. He goes, they said 3 feet. And so I start pulling on the tape and they go, about the length of your arm. And he goes, I know what 3 feet is. Thank you. Like, it's so good, man. It's just so like there is something that like I just love about like the coolest, toughest guys in the world who are also the smartest men in the world.
He's like, listen, I'm a fighter jockey scientist. Okay.
Yes. We like literally they won't let you near a spaceship if you're a dumb. Like, you have to be one of the smartest people alive to get on a ship.
They didn't even want me stepping on the decommissioned ones at Cape Kennedy. They were just like, no, sir, sir, please step back.
And that happens again and again. Like, I don't mean to to stifle your erection here with the stuff, but like, you know, when it goes wrong, when the mission goes wrong, they already had something in place for, we can use the lunar lander as basically a life raft to get us back home, right? And I just find that like, well, of course they did. Like, of course they didn't just go like, and fingers crossed, everything's gonna go perfectly. Like, they already had those things in place, and I just find it so fascinating that like that like. Well, of course, like as a normal person, you don't think that way, but you have to when you work at NASA. I just found it so fascinating.
I just can't wait till we get the version of this movie that's on like Blue Horizon or SpaceX, or like Cardi B or somebody has to save the day.
Yeah. I think that those days are long over of you need to be a smart person to be on a ship. I think that stopped happening with NASA, to be quite honest with you.
Did you see all the ladies that we put up with Jeff Bezos' wife?
I'm not just talking about that. I mean, look, astronauts in the 80s and 90s even are not as smart as the astronauts.
Oh, for sure. 60s. Yeah, it was just like, we put a third grade teacher up here. You
didn't have to be.
I met a guy that was really, really dumb. And I knew he was really dumb because he said he wasn't impressed by Chuck Yeager just because he went to the moon.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh, really? You know, I had to hear where this was going. You know, this is a guy from rural West Virginia, Chuck Yeager, local hero. And he's like, anybody go to the moon after you send 3 or 4 monkeys first? And I was like, you know what? You make a good point, sir.
Yeah.
All those monkeys up on the moon. Did they bring them back? He's like, I don't know.
What if there was a colony of moon monkeys that we didn't know about?
That is a movie.
This is the same thing. This is the same thing where again and again you have the flat earthers, and for the most part, I think that's kind of like a joke.
I think
for the most part, but then occasionally one will sneak through that thinks it's all real, and those are the people that you see the most when it comes to the flat Earth people, because they're the ones who are so dedicated to the flat Earth thing that when they finally get proven wrong in terms they can understand, you just watch them. You just watch them slowly die inside, and it's kind of like that what we're talking about. You know?
You mean circle all along?
Oh my God.
I like the ones that think the Earth is flat, but yet we'll look at all the other planets and just go like, no, those are spherical. Us though?
No, I can see those.
Huh?
I know those are spheres.
They're all disc shaped. It's like a plate. From this side, it looks like a line. We just happen to be right up against the flat sides of all of them. We don't see the ones on their side.
It makes much more sense now.
You know how you only see like maybe 20 stars in the sky, but if you read a book, they say there's billions of them out there. You only see the ones that are flat.
So dumb.
Let's talk about a couple other people. Ed Harris Ed Harris is first of all killing it at this point in the mid 90s and everything. He's so awesome. I love this is another little thing I caught this time was when his vest is getting delivered, how everyone else is talking about how his wife made such a bad one last time and was so embarrassingly terrible that awesome. This time you're looking like, what is this thing going to be? Is it going to be absolutely awful? And they pull it out and it's fantastic. It's perfect.
It's beautiful.
And of course, because his wife made it and everything, it's going to be tailored exactly to his size. So it fits him like $1,000,000. He's got the best hair piece he's ever fucking had. He looks so good. He is right out of, again, all of these guys in a weird way all look like they are, dudes that, were doing it in the 50s.
Yeah.
Don't you think though it would be cool that, like, okay, you've got this project, you get a brand new vest to wear for each project, and it's like you put it on, okay, I'm at work, people. This vest proves and then you take it off when the job's done. You never wear that vest again. It probably goes into like a shadow box and up on the wall.
No, it probably does, especially with like big events and stuff like these.
Of course it does. I think that's awesome. And you know, Gene Kranz also is one of those guys that, like, because he's Ed Harris plays him because, like, with steely determination, because he's Ed Harris.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Ed Harris is amazing in this movie. I have nothing bad to say about Ed Harris. But when you see the real Gene Kranz in actual Houston, the real Gene Kranz does not live with steely determination. He is somebody who just needs to get the work done.
Does he look more like Clint Howard?
He looks more like a shop teacher.
Okay,
that's what I was picturing.
Than anything else. And he is, don't get me wrong, he's physically fit. He was an astronaut too. Like he just, you know, washed out as an astronaut, but he so, like, you know, the vest fits him. He looks great in the vest, of course, but he looks like a shop teacher. He doesn't look like Ed Harris. And, you know, we're like, if I don't blink for 30 seconds, that's going to give our boys some more time. You know, like, that's not the way he is.
Man, I tell you what, if I found out Ed Harris was playing me in a movie, I'd be so stoked.
Of course, who wouldn't?
Dude, come on.
Kidding me?
I meet a lot of veterans in my line of work, and I'm yet to meet an Ed Harris. I mean, you know, there's a reason he's in Hollywood.
Well, listen, yeah, because that's true. He's got that perfect kind of face. But if you saw him, like, again, say what you will about the movie, but his performance in The Rock is absolutely spectacular. He just kills that thing like nobody's business. That military kind of, like, you know, listen, you don't know what you're talking about. These boys, same blood in the same mud, all that bullshit. It's so good. Ed Harris kills that stuff, and he does the same kind of just, you know, great Ed Harris performance here as well. Zero complaints.
Wasn't Ed Harris one of the?
I'm sorry. Go on.
Wasn't Ed Harris one of the astronauts in The Right Stuff? Also, I was thinking he might be.
I don't know that movie as well as I know this one. I couldn't tell you, buddy.
I'm a young man. I don't know.
Look it up. I've seen it, and of course I've listened to the audiobook where clearly Dennis Quaid is drunk off his ass through half of it as he's narrating.
That's Dennis
a book
for
that's
you.
like 1,000 pages, and it's like, Dennis, you need to get off the sauce, buddy.
Ed Harris was a little guy you might have heard of named John Glenn.
Oh, you know, that's so and so. Whatever happened to that John Glenn? He do anything?
No big deal. There's no Sam Shepard though.
Man,
who played Chuck Yeager.
Again, Gary Sinise just like doing so much with not even saying anything. The man just says so much with his eyes, just like looking into the middle distance here and everything. And that determination that he has of, like, you know, just put on your jacket, throw it back in. We're trying to, you know, I got to do this. We got to fix this. And I love how he never got sick ever. And it was just like, you know what? That was bull crap. And, like, you know, and again, I love the thing where he's just like, Kevin Bacon's like, I wish you were up here. And he's like, yeah, I'll bet you'd wish I was. And that was another good one.
The flight surgeon got no, like, respect at all in this movie. I don't know if you noticed, but they have, like, the scene where they show everybody sitting down and checking in before the mission takes off. And the surgeon is one of the people that has to check in. He's the only one smoking during the check-in. Because, you know, it was the time when, like, you go to the doctor with the cough. Oh, smoke a cigarette. It'll soothe your throat.
Oh, we got to switch your cigarettes to Camels.
Clean your right out. These are low tar.
You know,
not
the
a cough in a
filters are what
carton.
cause the filters cause the cancer, not the cigarettes.
Guess I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah, you know, Sinise, man. I mean, what more can you say about that guy? He's just the best. He's just the best, man.
Yeah, once he got running with this and stuff, and then he does like Ransom again with Howard again, where it's just like, wow, like anytime you wanted to throw him into something, and then the guy goes and does, you know, a CSI for all these years and destroys on that show.
Well, he needed a summer house, and that's how you do it.
My God, did he ever get? I couldn't even start to think about how much money he got working on that show.
This is such a big endeavor this movie. Like, I mean, this is not a small, quick project where you throw it together.
But guess what, Bruce? It's a lot less expensive than you would imagine. This movie only cost, I think it was $50 or $60 million, which at the time, and even Ron Howard mentions it, he goes, hey, listen, there's a lot of movies right now that are going well over $100 million in budget and everything. He goes, for what we're doing here, we're actually keeping the budget pretty low. And I think he's correct. Around $60 million for this movie, pretty damn good in 1995 money, I says.
Well, the question I was getting for, though, is like this had to go into production and be cast way before it was released.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just curious if it just happens to be serendipity that we get Gary Sinise and Tom Hanks together two summers in a row.
He asked, Sinise is there because of Hanks working with him with those. But the whole production actually came together super fast. And they were, when Lovell and his writing partner for his book and everything had about a 10-page treatment for the book, they were shopping that around Hollywood and everything. And so that's when they picked it up. And oddly enough, Tom Hanks was talking with his agent previously before any of this stuff happens, and he even mentioned specifically by name Apollo 13 and wondered why no one had done anything like that. So his agents already knew that he wanted essentially this exact thing, and almost at the exact same time that they were pitching to Howard, they pitched to Hanks. They'd worked together previously, so guess what? Synergy just aligned, and he was like, and even Ron Howard's like, I never thought about anybody outside of Tom Hanks for this. It was just, he was going to be the one that was into it, and because Tom is so passionate about space, this is a bugaboo for him as well. He's so into it, and like, he wants to have things as realistic and everything as they could be. And Hanks would always kind of go back to, the material as it were and stuff like that to try to, present it in as realistic a way as you can, with obviously still keeping as, much of the fun and drama as you can, because you do need that. It's entertainment. It's a movie.
It's also one of those things too, where if you ever watch something on YouTube, like History Buffs or something like that, one of those shows where it shows you just how unrealistic historical movies are. This is one of those movies where they go, this is pretty much like a 9 out of 10 of how close it is to the actual real events of something, which it just seems so unbelievable to me with all of the stuff that happens in this movie, where it's like, come on, clearly half of it, like not half, clearly like a quarter of this. Like, how do they know what that person said when they're in their house? Well, guess what? They did. They figured it out. They know that they said that. It's insane.
See, I think they said like the big house party at the beginning and everything. That was kind of an amalgamation of stuff. They were like, they weren't really there for that, but like it was just kind of really an excuse, which is smart. This is how you do it in movie terms, is you're getting everybody together, and again, using a lot of all of their exposition there to say, hey, this is where all we are, and set this world up of who these people are, their connection to that, and then their connection then to the future Apollo 13 that would end up going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of those lines, like, this is Jack Swigert. He's the second best damn pilot NASA has. Like, they just want you to know his name and that he's a pilot. I don't know that they necessarily say that.
Of course.
I'd like, and again, this is a PG rated film, which I thought was hilarious again, because like with Jack talking about like just how he's docking the module there and everything, like as a 13-year-old, you don't quite get it. But as a 43-year-old, you're like, oh, wait, this is a little dirtier than I remember. And a couple of curse words for a PG movie, which is nice.
Once you hit 50, you stop getting it again, Adam. So enjoy it while you can.
I don't know. I'll do what I can.
So, do you guys want to hear some of the notes that I wrote down for the oral history?
Please.
Level did?
I would love to.
So one of them is, and it shocked me, is that lack of water was a much bigger concern for Apollo 13, the astronauts in Apollo 13, than lack of oxygen. Like they were that made them way more nervous than lack of oxygen, because they had enough oxygen in both the lunar module, and they had like a half a tank left in the space capsule, and then there's the tanks that the suits had. So they knew that they're going to be okay for 4 days back to Earth. The second one is, from the time of the accident where tanks get stirred to the astronauts landing, Jim Lovell, take a guess. How many hours of sleep do you think Jim Lovell got from the 4 days, basically?
Yeah.
From tank stir break to back home.
Probably could. I mean, like,
I know there was the one point where they like ordered him to go to sleep. So I'm going to say about 4 hours, maybe.
What do you think, Portrait?
yeah, I was guessing about like maybe over like those 4 days, maybe like 6 to 8. I can't imagine how you try to sleep. It's just like, oh yeah, by the way, we're just hurtling towards infinity.
If you're wondering if Jim Lovell is just the manliest man in the world, 1 hour of sleep the entire time.
Wow.
1 hour. 1 hour for 4 days. Come on.
Okay. But did he break it up? Did he just all right, here we go.
He did break it up. That's how he did it.
I feel like that's the only way that you can go is just like, let me get 5 here, 10 here,
Have
something like that.
Either of you guys ever worked any like abusively long shifts? I don't know any other term but that. I mean, that would be abusively long to be working.
Yeah,
4 hours.
yeah. I mean, a
4-day shift.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, like 12-hour days mostly. That's about the biggest
I've worked
ever
on
done.
independent movies. The answer is yes.
Okay, well, I spent a year where every 4th day I had to work for 36 hours straight without stopping, and the only thing at risk were people's lives. So,
if that's
I hear 4 days of people's lives on the line with no break, and forget the physical exhaustion. There's a lot of mental and emotional exhaustion at carrying that weight on your shoulders that long. Because after 36 hours, I was worthless.
Hey, don't worry,
So
they're in
imagine
space,
what
so
you're
they
like
don't feel
after
none of that.
72. Yeah.
I didn't write this down as a note, but I'm remembering it now. Is that the question is asked to Lovell? Was there any point where you thought that you were going to die? And real life Jim Lovell goes, no, and no one on the ship said anything about it either, except when Swigert looks at the power situation in the lunar lander, and he turns and he says to Lovell in real life, he's like, in our current situation, we're not going to make it. And he's like, that's the one moment of the entire 4 days where for a split second we were all like, I don't know if we're getting out of this one.
But again,
it's
that
completely fascinating.
That's when I would have finally taken a nap. It's like, well, if we're going to die, we should die well.
Maybe if I go to sleep and wake up, it'll all be gone.
Party, you know.
Listen, our lives are at risk. Brucey nappy time.
Hurt less burning up on reentry if you're asleep, I promise.
Oh, you're right about that. But, that was the thing, too, is that they kept asking him if they had pills, if they had cyanide pills, because that was another urban legend, is that astronauts have cyanide pills. And he's like, Lovell's like, why would we need cyanide pills? All we have to do is literally just release one hatch and we're dead in a second. We wouldn't even feel it. I was like, oh, right. That's a good point, Jim Lovell. It's a very good point.
It's like, I'm good to die in space. I don't need help. Come on.
I know there was a crew that burned up on reentry in the past 15, 20 years. Yeah. And I always kind of wondered, there's a point where it's going to happen.
They knew it was happening.
Yeah. So I wonder if they just turned the oxygen off. I would rather die from hypoxia than burning up.
You're talking about you're talking about the Columbia ship.
Is that the one? I couldn't remember which one.
It was Columbia, yes.
In reentry. I quit keeping track after on a snow day.
Challenger.
The Challenger. Yeah.
Yep.
Bruce, I want to add real fast, just because, and I'll let you get to other things. Because I'm curious. How do you think the special effects hold up? And Bruce, since you've never seen them before, what were your thoughts on?
That's an excellent question, Portress. Yeah, what did you think of that?
Some of the external shots of the craft in space wouldn't work if it was made today.
Sure.
Now, at the time it was made, I mean, what can you? It's like saying I'm mad at a guy who didn't have a car for not being a race car driver. You know what I mean? So yes, they look good, but they still seem like, when I watch it now, the rest of it holds up so well that it's just those exterior shots. Because the internal shots, when you got a practical effect, a good practical effect will hold up forever.
Yeah.
But the thing, it looked a little cartoony to me from the outside a couple times.
Well, luckily we don't sit too much outside of that for the most part, which is nice that we don't have to sit there and try to rely on that particular thing. We really stay in the capsule with them, and it makes it more realistic, I think.
I'm sitting there watching the launch, and I'm wondering how Ron Howard got such a realistic looking shot, because it's clearly not a stock footage launch,
right?
And they got pyro everywhere. Some of the stuff is just like, I feel like, man, somebody must have brought a 35 millimeter camera and a DP to a real launch and like, okay, let's do it again. They launched the thing 25 times to get the perfect shot.
Oh my
I
God.
love some of those shots around the launch.
Yeah, those do look great. And again, though, Bruce, like, yes, it's 30 years old, so some of it isn't going to hold up. So you're totally right about that. And again, you can't besmirch them because it was 30 years ago. But I guarantee you, at the time, it was literally like, did they shoot a rocket into space? Is that how they got this?
At the time,
shot?
it was like the most realistic looking. That's why Buzz Aldrin was like, for real, did you do something like this? Did you find something that we didn't know about? And I would have sworn that, at the time and everything, I'm like, oh yeah, that's some footage that they got, like at least a couple of shots. No, all of it, brand new and everything. I will say this: if you want to go out there, there is an Apollo 13 movie magic episode on YouTube. They go through all the special effects and stuff like that. And this is, again, we are at a great time here in 95 because we are still doing physical, practical effects, and we're still on the vanguard here of CGI and everything. So we're in that nice little sweet spot where we're kind of doing a little bit of both.
Yep, that's awesome. This is the entire reason why I wanted to bring up watching the oral history is for this reason alone. This is my favorite thing that happens in the interview with Lovell. If I may steal a line from Bill Simmons, Portress, turn the TikTok camera on. Here we go. So Lovell likes all the other astronauts on Apollo 13, right? But he doesn't like his fellow astronaut from Apollo 8, Frank Borman. And so much so that he even brings up that he's glad he wasn't on Apollo 13 because he didn't want to have him around, Frank Borman. And it's one of these things where Lovell keeps going back to the fact without being prodded about how much he doesn't really like Frank Borman. Like on Apollo 8, Frank Borman was a nightmare. I don't want to spend any more time around Frank Borman. Happens again and again. And like throughout the hour and a half long interview, he probably brings up Frank Borman's name 8 times.
Man.
It's insane, man. Like it's like he was out for this Borman fella from Apollo 8. And the thing is that Borman must not have been a Lovell fan either, because after Apollo 8, he quits the program. Borman quits the program after Apollo 8. He literally was like, no more for me, thanks. And when they ask him later, because I looked this up, when they ask Borman, do you have any regrets because you weren't one of the people to go to the moon? He was like, no, I didn't need to land on the moon. I don't want anything to do with that anymore. So those two guys, because they were stuck together in Apollo 8 for days at a time, because they're the ones who
going around and around
the moon. They're literally circling the moon for days on end. And we're in space for it's like a crazy amount of time too. It's like 15 days or something. Like, it's a crazy amount with two guys who hate each other. It is so amazing to me.
Oh man, that's like a car trip from hell.
Oh my God, man. It's 14, 15 days where you're literally rubbing shoulders with the other guy and you can't stand him.
You're in the front seat space of like a Volkswagen Beetle for that time.
Man. Just amazing. Amazing to me. It was my favorite thing about the interview, because I was like, oh, he's going to bring it up again. I could already tell, because he's starting to get that bad look on his face again, and he would. Bam! I don't like Frank Borman. Come on. So good. Do you want me to hold off on talking about their time on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson?
No, let's roll.
I think we're wrapping things up. Yeah.
Okay. So it's probably a couple of months after they are back on Earth, and the actual Lovell, Hayes, and Swigert are on the Tonight Show. And these are my notes from that. One, they got about a 2-minute standing ovation, also from Ed and Johnny at the time, which 2 minutes doesn't seem like a long time. You watch that YouTube clip and you tell me how long it feels, that 2-minute standing ovation for those guys. Totally deserved. but it is a long time. You're like, oh my God, they haven't cut away at all. Okay. Number 2, Jim Lovell is the only astronaut on that stage that had any stage presence. No one, the other 2 guys didn't want anything to do with being there. They're like meek. They're trying to hide the whole time. They're like their hands are like on their knees as they're talking. It is insane. It's like, guys, you were the toughest, coolest guys in the world. Shoulders back, please.
I'm socially awkward. I can't really.
It's so bizarre to see. Then in the middle of the interview with the 3 astronauts, they have to pause so that Ed McMahon could do a live stand-up for the breakfast cereal product 19. Like in the middle of it, they're like, so how hard was it? Like when you got back, did you realize the entire world was on your side? I'm sorry, before you answer that. Hey, Ed, what you got over there? It's crazy.
I've got a good one for you.
Media used to be so magical, man. It's just not anymore.
The Maytag repairman.
And it's kind of eye-opening too, because when you're watching the clip, like I always think of Johnny Carson, especially like early, like the late 60s, early 70s, where he's at the height of his power, where like I always thought of it as like just like Hollywood excess and money, and like you could see it on the stage. But in truth, his stage is pretty small. Like where he's conducting the interview is a very small set compared to something like, even if you were going to watch like Conan O'Brien late night show in the 90s, like that was a bigger set than Johnny Carson's in the late 60s, early 70s. And the last thing is this, is that the best joke comes from Swigert, because he's like the ladies' man, and Lovell even brings it up on the show where he's like, oh, this guy with the stewardesses, don't even get me started, like something like that. And I'm about to paraphrase this, but Johnny Carson asks him like, hey, so what is that like being the only bachelor on this flight? I mean, what's that feel like? And this is what he says. He goes, and again, I'm paraphrasing, I'm like one of those nude detergents, Johnny. I work fast and I leave no rings. Brings the house down, baby.
It.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's gold.
Tears the living hell out of that place with that joke. Johnny cannot stop laughing. Ed can't stop laughing over where the product 19 is. It is such a well-placed joke, and the guy is still like, he's like, and he still tells the joke incredibly well. It's very cool.
And he became the official spokesman for Ajax Cosmic Powder.
Just such a good joke.
Couple real quick things. We'll get to the. I swear, I just wanted it because we haven't. Bill Paxton. We never really mentioned the man throughout the entire thing. Great performance by Bill Paxton and everything. And again, another guy who, like, throughout his entire career, always looks like a guy who could have come out of the 50s. Yeah, he has a bit of that look to him, and
man.
Yeah, he does look like Chet. He looks just like Chet. Yeah, well, not at the end. But yeah,
but I'm watching this. I'm like, whoa, it's Chet. I'm glad he's stuck with the hair for 10 years.
and apparently went to it up. He got a really good tutor, I guess. I don't know that Chet was the brightest of scholars and everything, but if you get the right person to work with, perhaps.
What was the lady's name in that movie? She made him smart with her magic.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Kelly LeBrock. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, Kelly LeBrock. I kept wanting to say Carol Alt, but that was way off.
I thought you were going for the character name, which I could never pull out of my head in a million years.
Computer chick.
And last thing, Howard Shore's amazing score in this movie.
Oh God, man,
is fantastic. It is up there with some of the greats. It is just
one of those you feel more than hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's right in there. It keeps you in those suspense for the entire time, but like it soars when it needs to, but it sits quiet and everything for the most part, and it's just kind of accenting things so darn good.
It's kind of it's as effective as the soundtrack to The West Wing. Like if The West Wing doesn't have the soundtrack it has, there's no way that show is successful. And this movie's probably going to do just fine anyway. But having that soundtrack, oh my God.
Little extra sauce that it absolutely could use there for sure. All right, let's get down to it. Bruce, what is your rating and recommendation for Apollo 13? Your name's Bruce.
Uh-oh. He's frozen, man.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, we'll go to you. Well, I was like, listen, he's bird dogging me like, no, hey, man. Stare hard. I'm like, listen, because like, look at the elbow up here and everything. It's very aggressive.
I know it.
I'm kind of scared a little bit.
How dare you ask me that question, Fortress?
What?
My name is Bruce Leslie.
On our movie review show, you're asking me what my review is? What? All right, then. All right, what do you think about it then?
Well, of course, for me, it's a 5 out of 5. No notes. I'm giving this 5 moist Hank hands, which we didn't get into this week. But my lady, she's got a thing about Tom Hanks. She thinks he's got way too big of hands, and they look awfully sweaty. I was trying to think of a different word than moist. Sultry. He's got some sultry hands, if I can steal a line from the tray.
They're quite moist.
And it drives her crazy because she can't especially when he's in a romantic comedy, because he's always touching ladies' faces in romantic comedies. and it disgusts her to no end.
That Seinfeld hand that comes over the man hand.
Exactly.
It's just like that doesn't belong on that little tiny body. What's happening?
It's
Hank
so
smash, bam.
It's one of the things I find so charming about that girl. It's one of the reasons why she's the funniest person I know in real life.
It's like I can't do it. I can't look at the hand.
I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can watch Tom Hanks in almost everything. I cannot watch him in this. I'm sorry. It's so good.
A hand model story, that would be just a nightmare. For me, yeah, it's 5 stars all the way. This is like, and especially like 'cause 95, like, you know, I'm like 13 years old, and when you're like 12 to 15, you're like really getting into like movies and stuff like that, and really kind of trying to break down stuff, and then you realize, oh, Ron Howard is not only OP, but he does this other stuff as well, and you're like, and right. So this became a big deal, and again, Tom Hanks was, you know, on what a hit of a ride that this guy was, like, from this in Philadelphia, in Forrest Gump, like the man just could not miss.
He goes on a tear of about 10 years where it's just like, everything he does is just
like, here's Saving Private Ryan. It's just like, it's unbelievable. And like
Porches, if I can stop you for a second, please. You need to let Bruce back into the studio.
Oh, here he is. Thank you. I didn't realize he came back. There he is.
Yeah, my home internet went out, so I switched over to the cellular. So it kicked me off, and then when I kicked back on, I was outside the studio.
There we go. But yeah, like it's Bruce, your rating and recommendation for Apollo 13.
Okay, well, you know, my takeaway in the movie is a little bit shorter. It's just a few words, but to me, it was a story about work-life balance. You know, sometimes you see your own life in it.
That's a really good take, Leslie.
A story about dreams and family, about courage and disappointment, and to a degree, the fickleness of an ungrateful populace. How about that? So those are all wonderful things. It's shot great, state of the art on some of the CGI that they had to use briefly. That's the part I wish they'd use miniatures on, but this is still a solid 4.5 for me. I totally get why some people call it a 5-star movie, but I don't know. 4.5 seems solid for this because I like genre movies and stuff. Yeah. I like fiction a little better than nonfiction unless it's like ancient stuff.
You're giving it 4.5 sweaty Hank's hands.
Big lobster shell cracking hands.
Giving the people what they want. Well, that is it, everybody. We got yet another Sean Loves Spaceships movies under our belt here, but we've got one more this month. And
which is my reco.
This is yours. So tell us what we're watching next month.
So next week.
Or next week. I don't know why I said next month.
We're watching Sean Connery's Outland, which is one of these movies where you've probably never seen it because it fell through the cracks. It certainly did for me, and Sean Loves Spaceships. It's one of those things when you start watching it, you'll understand why you've never seen it before. But my God, it's a great movie, and Connery's good in it, and it's fun, and it's cool, and it's gross, and it's the best. And it is one of those movies where I think that it holds up with a lot of really great science fiction movies, and it's like it's literally, this is the premise to Outland. If you want to see it next week before we review it, What if we made high noon in space?
Dude, get this out. Matt Vandiver in the chat room said high noon on the moons of Jupiter.
There you go.
So
that's what it is.
Yep.
And it's awesome. It's so good.
Now I'm looking forward to it. I'm a fan of high noon.
It's so good, man.
And wouldn't you know it, it's not out yet, but when we announced that we do this, like literally like the week after, Arrow Video goes, hey, we're putting out a 4K of Outland.
Of course.
Isn't that how that works? So,
man, we are in the national consciousness. And I don't mean that people are listening to us. I mean, we're in the slipstream of everyone thinking the same thing.
They should just,
we have our thumb on the pulse, even though you shouldn't check a pulse with your thumb. That's the phrasing people use.
But we're trying to we want to shut them up.
We're going to
kill you.
I'm taking your pulse, as you're choking them out with your thumb.
Yes, your eye has a pulse. Now shut up.
Got all kinds of things in there. So we'll be doing Outland next week, everybody. In the meantime, Bruce, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
Hey, I've been putting some stuff on TikTok, but also I have a new video. I have a video review of the newest Demon Slayer movie, Infinity Castle. It's an exclusive to the patrons that follow me on Patreon at patreon.com/Bruce Leslie. So if you want to go see my review there, you can do that. Also, I'll have more stuff to talk about in October, so I'll just save it.
Very nice. Very nice. Sean?
Bruce, my oldest daughter loves that movie. She thought it was fantastic.
It's a beautiful movie.
I don't have a TikTok. I'll never have a TikTok. I am that type of person who's like, you know what? I think I'm done. YouTube and I'm on YouTube sometimes, and I'm always here on Sundays.
We got you Sean Scoots over there. That link is in the show notes. So if you want to go over there and see some of them.
I've got so much footage that I haven't edited or anything that happened months ago. That's how busy my life is, folks. That's how busy I am.
Well, you just got to throw it into DaVinci and let the AI start editing it for you. Just be like, make this good, damn it. Have it let go.
I got to learn how to do it, and then I can cheat later.
That's true. You don't want to cheat from the get-go. You want to cheat after you know how the game works, everybody.
That's the best way to cheat.
I had an English teacher that told me E.E. Cummings learned how to use capital letters before they stopped using them or something like that.
I got into a fight with an English teacher in high school because she talked about E.E. Cummings and how he wrote all of his letters in lowercase. He felt bad about himself or whatever, and so I was just like, what if he was just lazy and just didn't want to do it? And she could not entertain even the idea. Just go like, well, and he's like, that's an interesting idea, but we've actually learned this. No, she was just like, that's impossible. I'm like, impossible? It can't be possible.
I always imagine that the people that type in all caps hate E.E. Cummings.
Yeah, they're anti.
Porches, if you had yourself,
I'd hate myself.
If you had to substitute yourself at that age, I can't imagine. It would be the kid you would hate the most, right?
Maybe not the most, but I would. I've got that kid when I go to certain schools and stuff like that.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah. There's this kid Patrick. He's a smart kid, but he's a little pain in the ass. I like him, but he's just such a little turd. But and that's
We're still live, by the way.
Oh, I know. Listen, Patrick, I'll tell you to your face. And I told him the other day. I just sit there because he was laughing up at the desk, and I go, "You're smart, and you're being an idiot. Get back here. I hate you."
Is there any chance he's a pink starfish?
No. But I am on TikTok. I mentioned that because I take my TikTok Trash Tuesdays and other things like that and put that up there, and maybe another sketch or complaint from now and then. Check all that stuff out over there at the TikToks. Links are in the show notes. And, of course, all the fun things we do on YouTube, including that TikTok Trash Tuesday and many more things to come throughout the coming months here and everything. What I've got in store for you is something else, man. Let me tell you. That is it, everybody. Join us here next week for Outland 4. Sweet Sean's a Kovacs from the internet. Bruce Leslie. I'm Adam Portress, reminding you to go to space and what was it? Damn it. I don't know.
Man, you got that hairline perfect.